Recently I saw a video from dprjones called Objective Morality Part 3. He raised a couple issues that kind of interest me, whether there is such thing as objective morality. I'm going to skip past some of the preliminary stuff, all the introductory chatter. One thing I want to touch on that he stated towards the beginning here: God's system of morality is sick and twisted, and it is not one that any right-minded person would want to follow. I'm going to address that at the end because I think it's kind of a different issue than most of what he's talking about here. It says the Bible is a useless source of morality and that the Ten Commandments are laughably lacking as to how one should lead your life, or words to that effect. I'm a Christian, but I got to say that I don't think that objective morality does exist. I think if it ever did exist, it would have been accepted by, more or less universally by all civilizations throughout history, or even consistently by one civilization. I mean, it hasn't even been consistently applied by Christianity over its history. That's evidence enough that it doesn't exist. What about people prior to the Ten Commandments? Did they have no sense of morality? Were they raping and killing and coveting, all that stuff incessantly? Was there no morality before then, even under God's guidance? As far as the examples you show here, I'm going to take the simple examples, if you don't mind. To the trolley question. You'll not find an answer in the Bible. Well, I disagree to a point on the trolley question there. I think that for people who are extremely conservative Christians, this comes under "you shall not kill," which means take no action that causes another person's death. For some very strict Christians in the examples, that would mean that no matter what, you should not take any action that causes another person's death, even if it prevents the death of others. That your non-action would result in the deaths of several other people would be interpreted as God's will. That same kind of reasoning is used by people who oppose abortion, even in cases where the mother's life is in danger. People could make a claim that it's objective morality, but I don't know a whole hell of a lot of people who would agree with it. Even so, with among Christians here, the rule "thou shalt not kill," there are more exceptions to that rule than can be believed. Just look at the exceptions we have today: war, in cases of self-defense, capital punishment, which of course differs and has differed throughout history and even today as to what people think about capital punishment. And in historically, killing pagans is okay, heretics, witches, atheists, well, of course, you're on the list automatically. So, for even such a simple rule as "thou shalt not kill," how can there be objective morality when it's interpreted in so many different ways, even just by Christians themselves? To the New Orleans thing, I'm not up on all the details of the dilemma there, but I assume it's a case of mercy killing, giving somebody a quick, peaceful death versus a long, painful one. Again, going back to extremely conservative Christians, yeah, it would be wrong because you're causing another person's death. Of course, in real life, things are a lot grayer than that, and they're not quite so cut and dried, especially when it comes to ethics, and of course, especially when it comes to medical ethics as well. Returning to what you had earlier here, God's system of morality is sick and twisted, and it is not one that any right-minded person would want to follow. Nah, sorry, I gotta call straw man on that one. Look, most Christians are not biblical literalists, and what you're looking at there is an interpretation of the Bible that comes from biblical literalists. Take a look at the clergy letter, for example, and look at the number of Christian clergy there who say that most of them do not interpret the Bible literally. You refute one version of Christianity, that doesn't refute them all. Now, I respect atheists, I respect your non-beliefs, your metaphysical position. My thoughts on that are generally the right to extend your fist stops where my nose begins, and I like Thomas Jefferson's view on the subject. It's no skin off my nose, whatever you believe.